What's up, YouTube? This is Killer Jesus from XboxOneScene here, and what you're watching today is a LeBron James NBA 2K15 Cleveland Cavaliers preview. So what you're seeing right now is the future of the Cleveland Cavaliers right there. They're a 2015 team, basically. Kyrie, Tristan Thompson, and LeBron going up against the Miami Heat from 2015 with Josh McRoberts, Danny Granger, and Norris Cole. So, yeah, that's basically how the Heat season I'm thinking is going to start off with, pretty rocky, and hopefully they might get it together or something like that, possibly. I'm not too sure, but where it stands right now, the Miami Heat only have 3 players signed for next year: Norris Cole, Danny Granger, and the Josh McRoberts, who basically is a long-haired version of Birdman with minus the tattoos. So I don't really see too much of a talent change going on for Miami Heat right there. But Cleveland definitely got a better player today, signing LeBron. They got a pretty decent young team or whatever, but I don't know. What inspired me to make this video is I turned on TV this morning. I turned on ESPN or whatever, as I normally do, and that was like plastered all over ESPN was LeBron signing with Cleveland. And I kept thinking the whole time, like, man, I must not be awake yet or something like that. I need to get myself some coffee or something, because this could not have gone down like this. Like, Dan Gilbert, the Cleveland owner, a couple years ago, if you remember his reaction during LeBron's original decision or whatever, was basically to write like a freaking Comic Sans letter and post it all over the internet about how, like, he owns LeBron and LeBron's like, a jerk and everything like that for leaving, and basically name calling and slandering and all this other stuff. Really, he decided not to take the high road, basically. And it was only until like a couple days ago where he finally, like 4 years later, dude finally takes the letter down. So I didn't, I don't think anyone really, outside of if you're living in Ohio, I suppose, but I'm sorry if that's the case right off the bat, but I don't think anyone outside of Ohio really actually thought like LeBron's gonna, return there or whatever. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, I thought he was all about winning and championships, but I don't know, maybe this last loss to the Spurs kind of like left LeBron thinking like, maybe losing isn't so bad or something like that. I mean, I'm not too sure about what he was thinking. I mean, Cleveland's got a really good young roster. They got a new coach. They have a new team. I mean, it's a much different situation for LeBron going into it this time around than it was the last time. Like, who was their coach from before? Was it like Dan Brown or whatever? The black chubby bald dude with the glasses who wound up being the Lakers coach for like a little while till he was laughed out of town. And then ironically, Cleveland like rehired him for some strange reason, as if the first batch of losing with LeBron wasn't good enough. Now we're going to give you a team without LeBron, and yeah, go figure, he lost pretty much the same the same amount. So yeah, he's out of town. So they got a new coach by the name of David Blatt, so hopefully, I don't know, we'll see if LeBron could turn David Blatt into the next, like, Eric Spoelstra or whatever, a brand new young coach who no one really knows about, and turning him into a mild, like, household name. But I don't know, the future waits to be seen with that. But at least according to ESPN or Las Vegas odds makers, apparently Cleveland is the favorite to win the NBA championship this year by like a 3-to-1 like odds ratio. And I think the Spurs are like next at like 4-to-1. Like, I don't know. I think Vegas is very generous with their predictions or whatever. I think they actually start like a lot of this hype, probably for sports betting, since that's like a billion-dollar industry. But yeah, they're all hyped up about LeBron joining Cleveland, but like they kind of forget that like Cleveland did only win 30 games last year. They did win the overall lottery pick though, but that typically goes to like the worst team, or if you're the Bucks, it goes to the next worst team. But I don't know. I think there's way too much hoopla going around LeBron. Like, he had a much better cast in Miami and they didn't win. And like, granted, Cleveland's a lot younger than Miami's team from last year. I don't see I don't see them getting past the Eastern Conference semifinals, even considering how weak the Eastern Conference is. Now, I think it should be noted that, like, I am a Bulls fan, so I definitely have my, like, bias in regards to that, but I can step aside and put aside my bias to think neutrally here and think rationally. Like, I don't think the Bulls are going to be winning the championship next year. That's for damn sure. Even if Derrick Rose comes back, like, healthy and everything, like, they've made absolutely no moves in free agency. And, like, right now, I think I saw a report this morning that Carmelo had his decision down to the Knicks or the Bulls, and, like, in all honesty, like, as much as I'd love to see him on the Bulls, like, he was on the Nuggets and had a pretty good cast. They had Chauncey Billups, Nene, Kenyon Martin before his knees turned to jello, like, and they didn't win. You know, they hardly, what was it, he won, like, one playoff series or one playoff game, something ridiculous like that, like, you know, then he goes to the Knicks. They got Amori. They had, you know, Linsanity when that was going on. And, you know, what happened there? They're a garbage team, too. So I don't really see Carmelo Anthony solving the Bulls' problems, that's for sure. But this isn't about Carmelo. This is about LeBron. And, yeah, or at least this video, at least. But I don't know. I want to see some comments from people. Like, what do you think is going to happen in the upcoming NBA 2015 season? Like, do you think LeBron's going to have a significant enough impact on Cleveland to, like, have them win more than, like, 30 games, maybe 40, possibly 50? I mean, I think they're definitely going to make the playoffs in the East, but that's only because the Charlotte Bobcats made the playoffs in the East last year, and my God, they were horrible. Like, can you even name, like, more than 2 players on the Charlotte Bobcats other than Josh McRoberts or Michael Kidd-Gilchrist? Probably not. I mean, even if Jordan, like, finds some, like, age-defying serum or something like that and, like, gets back on the court, like, into his, like, mid-90s form, like, I still don't see them, like, doing nothing there. As far as Cleveland goes, like, I still think they're a couple building blocks away from actually being, like, a really good, like, contending team in the East. Like, couple years ago when the, like, original Big Three, like when Boston signed KG and Ray Allen, like, that's an established team. Like, yeah, they were, like, garbage for a couple years before, but they brought in, like, some good veterans to, like, back up those guys. And I don't see that happening in Cleveland. Like, LeBron's supposed to be trying to get Ray Allen and freaking Mike Miller over there, and I don't know about that. I don't see those being missing puzzle pieces that, like, you know, are really going to make a significant difference for Cleveland to actually, like, contend next year, but I could be wrong. I mean, I was wrong about LeBron going back to Cleveland. Like, this whole time, I just thought he was, like, teasing Dan Gilbert. Like, how are you going to go back to a team that, like, basically, like, treated you like a slave? Like, you know, you can't leave and stuff like that, and he's going to, like, tear down stuff. Fans were burning your jersey. Like, do you go, if you're LeBron, do you go back to wearing 23? Do you go back to wearing, you know, 6? Like, that's the number you left and had success with. Like, you know, or do you go back to wearing 23, the number that they burned? I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see if he had a new number, and if anyone's got any idea, like, what that new number could possibly be. Like, I think that'd be, like, an interesting, like, thing to speculate about, but I don't know. I think it's also kind of interesting, the NBA 2K15, like, ramifications going on here because of LeBron. Like, you know, I think in this game he was like a 98 or something like that. Like, you know, does he get a little bit lower having to carry around so much extra weight on Cleveland? Like, you know, they do have some young talent. I mean, Kyrie Irving is good, but, like, it takes a whole team to win. You can't just have, like, a couple, like, good players and have, like, garbage around them. Like, that's what Miami found out last year. Like, you could win a lot of games, you know, because if you have a couple good players, but you ain't going to be winning, like, you're not going to be a dynasty unless you got, you know, the Tony Kukocs and the Luke Longleys, but Bill Wennington's on your team. Like, who the hell are those guys? Those are good, consistent bench players. That's who those guys are. They can't be stars on any team. Good God, no. That's not what they're built for. They're built for solid reserve play, and Miami didn't have that. They had, like, nobody big on their team, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure of the Cleveland roster right now. I mean, free agency's still underway and everything, so we'll see what they fill out there. But I think they're definitely lacking size, and you can't make up for experience without actually like doing the thing. So I don't see that really working out for them. But I suppose people in Ohio do need something to feel good about because they are from Ohio. So, well, this should be most likely wrapping up here pretty soon, probably as Josh McRoberts kicks out to Danny Granger. But I think, man, if you're Danny Granger, you got to be a little salty. Like, man, I joined my Heat to have LeBron, not to be on like, another bad team again. He's going to be back on like the Pacers from like 3 years ago now until the end of his career. But sorry, Danny Granger, should have waited a little longer. Look at him praying back there. He's like, oh, LeBron, I wish you'd come back to me. Please come back. Please reconsider. No, no. Please don't leave me on the Heat. Fuck. All right, well, that should do it with here. It's your boy Killer Jesus, and yeah, stay tuned for more NBA 2K15 commentaries. I accept requests. Peace.